Very clearly laid out criteria for the awards, and the independent judging panel that we bring in felt that none of the submissions this year qualified for those particular categories. And I think that's a good thing. You know, you're not going to just give an award every year, that people actually, or the submissions have to meet the criteria in order for the award to be made. And this year there were some very good submissions, but none of them quite made the level that the judges felt was the level that would earn the award.
In your opinion, do you believe South Africa's private sector is moving fast and far enough in identifying the significance and risks to their business in terms of climate change?
Yeah, I think there's a growing awareness, which is fantastic. I'm delighted to see that we were the first bank in Africa to sign up to the Equated Principles for Responsible Lending. Delighted to see that Standard Bank has now signed up. And again, it's not easy. The criteria you have to apply to every loan that you make, it's very cumbersome, and sometimes you have to turn away business that you might like to have done. But I think South African companies, our mining industry, I think is well advanced, and I believe and I hope that our mining awards have helped increase that awareness, and that when people do get recognized for what they're doing, that it incentivizes them to do more. So overall, when I look at the companies that were, for instance, on the Ask Africa index of most trusted companies, and I see the work that people like Woolworths are doing, I think it's outstanding what the mines are doing. So I think South African companies are pretty much right up there, pretty world class.
There's a lot of concern that at the moment, 5 years down the line, we might look back at what companies are doing now and think it was a lot of greenwashing. What are your thoughts on that? What is your response to that in terms of companies who may be just hopping onto the PR bandwagon and slapping that, we are environmentally friendly label, as opposed to really understanding the fundamental change that it's going to make to their company?
Well, I think there's that old adage, you can't fool all the people all the time. So, you might jump on the bandwagon, but unless you are genuinely and on a sustainable basis really delivering and taking on board the things that need to be done, I think you'll be found out. So, yep, I've sort of heard the greenwashing term, and one should guard against it because it's easy to get swept up into the sort of euphoria of, we green. And I think we've got to, at Nedbank, we've got to kind of tread carefully, and that's why in things like our declaration as the first large South African company to go carbon neutral, we've said we would like a very respectable organization like WWF to sit with us and to guide us on that journey to make sure that we're not just trying to milk the moment. So I think you've got to do what needs to be done, otherwise you'll be caught out.
You spoke about Copenhagen in your speech, and obviously the significance of it for the world and also developing countries who aren't part of the Kyoto Protocol. Do you think South Africa is going to come to the party when it comes to signing onto this new agreement or agreeing to reduce their carbon emissions?
I think South Africa will definitely come to the party, and I think we've got a very good team, and I think we have a crucial role to play because South Africa is playing as a G20 member and as a developing nation and as a Southern Hemisphere nation. We are carrying quite a big responsibility to represent that constituency. So I think South Africa's team are well prepared. I think they've done their homework, and I think they'll play their role, and South Africa will come to the party.